All right, folks, we have Coach Jose Fernandez up with us. Coach, if you don't mind starting off with an opening statement.
Well, thank everyone for being here. Of course, my staff and players and the entire athletic department are really excited to participate in this tournament. There's an unbelievable amount of work to prepare to host an event like this, and we're pretty excited to be a part of it. So,
Great.
Fire away.
All right, Derek Sharp, Bulls Unlimited Radio. Coach, your team has got to be ready for a full court pressure from Tennessee. What's the challenge, the main challenge that the Volunteers present?
Well, I think when you play the type of schedule that we've played, Derek, right, in November and December, I think our players and staff were really challenged in those 2 months, right? But until you see that type of pressure in person, it's a whole different thing. You can watch them a lot on tape, and we've done that, and our players and staff has. So I think the two big keys are going to be how we take care of the basketball, right? And we do not give Tennessee extra possessions by turning it over or giving them second, third opportunities. So we came back, we had some time off during the conference tournament, and we had a couple practices, and then had a good workout yesterday here, and we'll practice today, shoot around tomorrow. But yeah, those are two things that you try and mimic in practice with your male scrimmage players, and did some different things. Pressed our guys with 7, 8 people on the floor to get a little feel of how patient we have to be and how we have to move the ball against pressure and active hands.
Share that the males practice players are saying, as long as mama's not handling the ball, we can handle them. So I know she's an important part. I know this is a broader question, but for the women's game, you guys get units for the first time, and with that in mind, are you getting well wishes from around the conference?
Yeah, you know, Derek, I've been doing this. I've been a head coach for 25 years, and this is our 10th NCAA tournament. And this is something that is long overdue. Student athletes, coaches, athletic departments, conferences, our women's game deserves this. And proud to say, I know these conversations came up in a lot of our Women's Basketball Coaches Association meetings, and this is something that Charlie Baker really made a valiant statement in the business meeting last year at the Final Four. Yeah, it's great. Women's basketball has value, and it is now hopefully all around the country, athletic directors and sport administrators see the value that women's basketball has, and they will continue to invest in women's basketball. And that's the only way this game is going to continue to grow. So I'm very happy, and we were all very happy and very excited when it was announced, and then it was approved. You always want more, right? We all wanted more, but it's a good starting point. It's a great starting point.
I'm going to jump onto the Zoom. Joe Henderson, you've got the mic. Okay, we'll come back here to real time. Front row right.
Vanessa with the Bay Area Examiner. Watching the girls in the tournament, their confidence seemed to really go up every game. How do you think their confidence has evolved up to game day tomorrow?
I think our players knew what was at stake. You know, we had won 9, 10 in a row, and we had some injuries down the stretch, which you go on the road to Tulsa and you lose at home to East Carolina, and we played our way out of at-large conversation. We did. You know, you can't have 2 losses outside of the top 100 going into your conference tournament like we did, no matter what type of schedule we played. So I think our players knew that how important going to Dallas-Fort Worth was going to be. and it showed. It showed. We needed to do what we needed to do, and I think in all three of those games, I thought the type of challenge that we have had all year showed. Because I think it was only one game we trailed 2-0. We led every minute of the other 139 minutes, whatever it is. Math? 119. There you go. So, but I was really proud of them and their focus and their execution and their preparation.
Coach, was that intentional? Scheduling UConn, Vandy, Louisville, Duke, South Carolina, Mississippi State, and to get to where you needed to be by the end of the regular season?
Well, it's always been intentional. I think if you look at our schedule every year, we play one of the toughest non-conference schedules in the country, and those are not bye games. Those are all home and homes. I haven't played a bye game in 24 years when I took over the program. So these are all games that next year we have Connecticut, South Carolina, and Duke's coming back. And we always try and play 2 tournaments where we can get 4 games or 5 games on a neutral floor. And I think that's one thing that you can control. You can control who you play in November and December.
Yeah. Going to go back to the Zoom. Joe, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. I'm unmuted now, I hope.
You
Jose, in the championship game of the conference tournament against Rice, you played only 6 players. You had 4 players played 40 minutes. Laura played 32. Can you do that against a team that applies as much pressure as Tennessee does?
Joe, it's going to be tough to do, I think, but, Rice had played 3 games already, and when they played us, it was a 4th game. And I thought we were really fresh. We'll get Jeanette Arnio back, so that'll give us another body. But I felt the way that Rice played and the tempo of that game that we could really shorten things and play that group and go with the minutes that we played that day. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I know the timeouts are a lot longer between quarters, so that's good. I think they're 4 minutes. Be selling a lot of advertisement, so that's good for the game. So we'll be able to get some extra rest. How deep can we go? I don't know. You're in the NCAA tournament, right? Next 40 minutes could be the next 40 minutes and the season's over. So, and then you got a day's rest for the next game.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, front row there, our third row, actually.
Cora Hall with the Knoxville News Sentinel. You've been around the game for a long time. I'm just curious kind of what your impression is of, Caldwell's system at this level and the way, with the subbing, the pressure, and the offense. Just what's kind of been your impression of it as you've scouted of it?
Well, yeah, like I said, it's going to be different seeing it in person, right? The one thing that reminds you, again, I've been doing this for a long time when Paul has teams at Loyola Marymount, and they played that way offensively, right? But they didn't play that way defensively. So, to play this type of style, I could imagine how Kim's practices are, because I'm sure they're very intense and they're in very, very, very great condition. That's why, taking care of the ball is going to be so very important. So we got to do a great job breaking pressure, right? Either scoring early and making sure they defend us well in the half court. Now, her goal is going to be to turn us over, speed up the game, make us take quick shots, and hammer the glass. So, yeah, it's nothing that what teams have seen it this year, right? So it'll be definitely something that we'll have to adjust to, and we'll see. Is she going to sub 5 in, 5 out? Or is she going to shorten things coming off of the conference tournament? I guess we'll find out tomorrow night.
Any other questions? Go ahead, please.
you have a very veteran point guard out of the SEC and Mama, just like how key is a player like her playing against the kind of pressure that Tennessee's going to put on you guys?
Yeah, she's seen some pressure playing in the SEC her whole career and then coming here. But she's been through it, right? We played at UConn, we played at South Carolina, played a very aggressive Mississippi State team on a neutral floor. I think Louisville's very good. So she understands how important it is going to be, breaking pressure and then making sure, we settle down once we break pressure. Because shot selection is going to be very important. Bad shots lead to bad transition defense. So she's going to have to do a really, really good job tomorrow. And, I think she's very, very excited because this is her first NCAA tournament as well. So I think the decision-making is going to be very, very important for her because the ball's going to be in her hands a lot.
Over here to the right.
Jack Church with the Daily Beacon. For those players who haven't played in the NCAA tournament, just how do you try to explain to them sort of the magnitude of this and the pressure that it brings before they get out onto the floor tomorrow night?
Yeah, because you look at our roster, right? We're 1 year removed from the NCAA tournament. We didn't play in it last year, which is a little different for us. Carla Brito did, Yannet Arnio did, and Sammy Puisis. So they're gonna understand real quick. When we step out on the floor and they see all the signage and they see all the games going on around the country, nothing prepares you till you play for one. And once you play in one, there's nothing like playing in one. And when you don't play in another one, it's like the season's been a failure. So the guys that will play, everybody that will be part of this that hasn't played in one will understand how hard, why the summer's so important, why the preparation's so important, why everything that you do is for this. So it's going to be a good teaching moment for the other 11 kids on the roster.
Anything else? Coach, thank you so much. All the best tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you for being here and covering women's basketball.